So, welcome to your Principles of Customer Service WorldHost course. So, in previous sessions, we've looked at how to wow the customer. And it's very important in hospitality, particularly in your local restaurants, hotels, bed and breakfast, pubs, that you know how to make that very good first impression and how to make your businesses wow our customers because you want them to come back. So just to lead on from that, we're going to look at how we do the communication process. And when we make that first impression, that's one of the first ways that we actually communicate with our clients, with our customers. They come in, they make that impression, and your communication is started, whether you realise it or not. So the objective of the lesson is to explain the main communication process and the skills required to make communication effective. So what I'd like you to do is, if you could turn to page 16 of your workbooks, we're going to look at the communication process in a little bit more detail. So if I could just have some volunteers to read out, first of all, those first 3 points. Okay, Steve, thank you.
Communication starts with an idea in the sender's mind.
Okay. And another volunteer?
The sender translates the idea into words, and this becomes the message.
Okay. Good. David?
The receiver translates the message back into an idea.
Excellent. So, communication is a two-way process built on a continuous cycle of giving and receiving feedback. So if you remember, when we just carried out that exercise with the drawer and the describer, it's all about giving and receiving feedback. It also says when the receiver's idea is the same as the sender's idea, effective communication has taken place. Who here has been in a situation where you've asked for something and what you wanted didn't actually arrive? Yeah? Has anyone got any examples?
It's happened.
It's happened, but you can't remember.
I'm trying to think of an example.
I tell you what was quite funny once. So I was with my dad, and whenever we go out for dinner and we ask for a bill, my dad always does the little wave thing, which I hate. So we were in the restaurant, and he goes, "Oh, let's go and get the bill." So he's like waving like that, doing this little thing. It's universal language. They know what that means. It means I want the bill. I went, "No, Dad, you're going to get a pen." He got a pen! So that's talking about you just need to communicate very, very clearly. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can do that. Because when we look at communication, it's actually broken down into 3 parts. You've got your verbal, your vocal, and your non-verbal. And this is put together by a gentleman called Albert Mehebrian. Excuse the pronunciation, that's not quite right. So we're going to look at this and break it down a little bit more. So again, if you refer to your workbooks, when it says verbal communication, they'll give you a little description. It says the content of the message. What do you think that actually means? What is the content of the message?
It's the actual body of what you're trying to say to somebody.
Okay, so what you're trying to
Words
say.
you use, so
So words. Yeah. What else might it be? Think about in your hotels, your bed and breakfast, what sort of words might you use that the customer might not be so familiar with?
Jargon.
Jargon, absolutely. So, if I was to say to you KP, in hospitality terms, what does that actually mean? Kitchen porter. Yeah? In normal language, you might think KP nuts. What are you talking about? Packet nuts. Yeah? Similarly in hotels, DM, you duty manager. Yeah? Again, you remember the public might think, what are you talking about? DM boots, Dr. Martin boots. Yeah? So you've got to be very careful of the words we use and the jargon that we might use as well. When we look at our vocal communication, the description here is the use of the voice as an instrument. What do they mean by that?
The tone.
Tone. Excellent.
inflection,
The
emphasis.
emphasis.
on the word.
Yeah. What else might they mean?
The pace.
Pace. Anything else?
Accent.
Accents? Good. So sometimes you might have people talk really, really softly, you just can't hear it. Or you might have someone speak really, really loudly or really, really quickly and you can't understand what they're saying because they're talking way, way, way too fast. Did you get any of that? Would you like me to repeat that? So you do have to be very careful on the vocal aspect of your communication. Yeah? Sometimes you're not aware of the speed that you're speaking at, or if you're speaking very loudly or very softly, or if particularly someone does have an accent, sometimes you almost have to translate it, don't you, to actually understand what's being said to you. Now Steve, you brought up a very good point about emphasis. So we're just going to do a very quick exercise on that. What I'm going to do is give you all, not all of you, 5 of you, a little card, and there's a sentence on this card. What I'm going to do is ask you to read out that sentence. However, within the sentence is one word that is in bold, italic and underlined. I want you to stress that word as you read the sentence. So, David, Sarah, Ricky, so we just go around starting with David. If you could just read out that sentence first of all for us.
I did not say he stole the money.
Thank you. Sarah?
I did not say he stole money.
Ricky?
I did not say he stole money.
Kush?
I did not say he stole money.
I did not say he stole money.
Okay. So it's exactly the same sentence, but the emphasis is on different words. So what's that doing to the sentence? So David, with your sentence, the I stress, what does that actually...
It means that, I didn't say that. Somebody else may have said it. It wasn't me who said it.
Yeah. Okay. Sarah, do you want to just read your sentence out again and just say what the connotation is?
Yeah, I did not say he stole money, so it could be I implied that he stole money, I didn't say it.
Good.
Okay.
Mine is, I did not say he stole money, so I'm not saying it was necessarily him, it could have been somebody else.
Excellent.
And mine said that it's not necessarily that he stole the money, he could possibly have borrowed it.
Exactly. And Julie?
And mine was that on money, so it couldn't have been money. So it could have been something else.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll just take those back. Thank you. So then we've seen how the vocal, the emphasis on certain words can actually change the whole connotation of a sentence that you might be saying to someone. So now let's look at the non-verbal communication. How do we display non-verbal communication?
Where we dress.
Okay, so the way we dress,
Body language. Body language.
our body language. Anything else?
Our impressions. Eye contact.
It might be eye contact. What else?
Facial expression.
Facial expressions. Excellent. I remember we looked at first impressions before. We looked at those pictures. We had sort of looking at the non-verbal. Pictures can't talk to you. So we had that non-verbal body language going on in those images, didn't we? How the characters were dressed, what their body postures were like, which conveyed sort of body language, and that gave us some sort of perception of what we thought might be happening there. Okay. So what I want you to do now, we're just going to put you into pairs, and we're just going to do a short exercise on looking at how it's really important that we have all 3 in place. So if one's missing, it can actually be quite difficult. So Julie and Steve, if you're happy to work together, Kush and Ricky, and Sarah and David. So in your pairs, what I want you to do is one person is just going to sit on their hands. Okay? And while sitting on their hands, without using any body language at all, so you can't move your feet, you can't move your arms, your hands or anything, without using your head, you're going to explain to the young person what a spiral staircase is. Okay? So I'll just give you a couple of minutes to do that. You want to sit opposite each other, one person sits on their hands, and describe to your partner what is a spiral staircase. Okay, so you've all had a chance to do that, so now I want you to do a swap over. So if you sat on your hands, you can now relax. Now when the other person sits on their hands. This time what I want you to describe is how to dribble a football.